Okay, so this is video 5. We're going to follow on from video 4. So if you're not quite sure what's going on, go back to video 4. We're going to now rearrange the order of the words. So just a quick recap. We had an original statement. We printed it on screen. We split it on each separate word. We then displayed it to see what it would look like. We then tested out that idea that you could use this square bracket and a number and it will give you each a separate word. Okay, very, very useful. We then found the length of it, the count of how many items it has, which is used len, short for length. We then displayed that, and then this is the clever bit. We then allowed it to display for each position the word that we have. So let's use this. Let's move the code down a bit, give ourselves a bit more room, and work out how to rearrange it. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up a new variable called C3PO. If you remember from Star Wars, C3PO was the language robot. In the very first place for C3PO, I'm going to put which word? I'm going to put the word this. In fact, this is, the first two are absolutely the same. So we copy them straight over, right? So it's going to take the very first word and copy it into my new. Then I'm going to, now it's a little bit of copying and pasting here because I've got 8 words. So I'm going to do 3, oops, bear with me a second. Let's get them all underneath each other. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now I'm going to make a little bit more space so you can see it. So the first one's the same, we agree the second one is the same. Right. Now the third one, actually, so it needs to say this is a message. So it's number 5 from the words we need to pop into 3. So what we'll do into here is we'll just sequence these as normal, because the new one, if I can type, the C3PO one, is going to just be in a normal sequence, nothing special about that. Bear with me a second, 6 and 7. So that sequence is just its sequence, right? But in this position, I want to grab the word a message, and it's held in position 5. So let's grab it from position 5. Then we want position 6 and 7 directly afterwards. 6, 7. Now this is a very long-winded way of doing it, but I'm doing this to demonstrate. So this is a message from, and then we want number 2, 3 and 4 to wrap this up from the original statement. 2, 3, 4. And let's drag that onto there. Let's print our C3PO statement if it will let me. C3PO might have an error here, but we should just see. It's not happy. It's probably because I've got a number in here. So if I just call it C3PO, let's see if that works. Right, let's just copy those out. Bear with me a second. I'll pause the video, get that change done. So what I did is I assigned each of the positions and I made up a new variable, but hang on, it's all gone red and it throws an error. It's quite a complex error. It says it's not defined, so I can't simply just do this. What I need to do is create this new variable as a list or an array, and the way that you do that is you write the name of the variable. So if I can just copy it from below, you say let it equal an empty. You're going to have, but you're going to hold nothing inside it, so you're just going to leave it blank, but not just one item. We want it to have 8 items, which is the length of the previous one. Now if I do that, this line allows me then to have 8 empty slots here for this. So if I run it, you will see what happens. This is a message from an alien species. It's actually put it in the right order. So very finally in this video, There's a lot in this video, and what I'd like you to do is take different examples and play with this. This is all really the heart of what we're doing. This code should be repeatable. How do you join it all back up? Well, actually what you do is, if we go and grab Yoda again, and this time we use a blank space, and then we join that blank space with all the new C3PO words. That will create a new statement that's shifted up, and then we can print that statement, Yoda, and have a look what that does. This is a message from an alien species. So I'm going to stop this particular video. This is a very, very powerful way of applying split functions, concatenation using strings, using a loop, and then this indexing here. So what I would recommend you do is you take some other statement made up of, say, 9 characters, or 8 characters again if you like. This bit won't change. All of these functions will stay in place. Let's get rid of all of this so we can keep it strict. You'll use that, get rid of that, and let's have a look at what we have. This is simply just displaying it, and that's very useful for you to do, so you can see when you run this line of code where everything is. Then use this block here. Okay, you'll have to have that anyway, because that will create a new place to hold, a new string array to hold everything. And then you can use this block here in order to rearrange the sentence, and you join it. It's quite a complex idea, but actually if you boil it down to it, it's a very, very fundamentally useful thing to do. If you look at grammar applications, language applications, one of the abilities is taking a sentence and learning how to split it, rearranging stuff. This is a very crude but basic system of rearranging the order of words by putting it into a new one, which is blank, joining them together into a single line, and then outputting that. So if I run this now, finally, we have, this is an alien species, a message from, this is a listing of where everything is. Using that information, I rearrange it into the correct order.